Alright everybody, hello and welcome. This is In The Mixer and I am Sean. Welcome to I think episode 4 of the series itself. If you watched the last episode, it was a double upload day. We did one episode to start the season where we got absolutely demolished by Manchester United and Burnley. And then in the second episode, we actually had two really great results. Two home wins, one against Newcastle 4-0 and then beat Liverpool 5-0 at home, which I didn't see coming. I think I was a lot calmer in the second video, maybe tuned into the tactics a little bit more and just sort of found our focus. So maybe that's what I need to do for just 10 minutes at the start of every video. Just find my center, gather my chakra and my chi, and then find focus within the game because our results haven't been that great. We did beat Southampton, our rivals, who will play again today, 2-1 in the League Cup. With all our injuries, Scott McTominay played up front as an advanced forward and got himself a double. I then rewarded him with 2 games in central midfield, and he was horrible in both. We did miss a penalty in this game against West Brom. Charlie Daniels stepped up and put it wide. We had a couple of other chances. Keenan Davis just obviously isn't ready for football at this level consistently yet. And similar story against Leicester. We actually created quite a bit against Leicester, but just defensively we weren't quite where we needed to be, and they were fairly ruthless and took their chances. So I think one of the things we need to do is change. We can't go attacking away from home. We obviously need to stick to standard or defensive, or what I'm going to do in a minute is go through our tactics and see where we're conceding our goals. Actually, I'll do that right now. Let's have a look at our tactics here and the analysis. And this actually shows you where we've created a lot of our chances, what chances we've conceded. You can go through this and see like exactly what has happened throughout our league campaign and where we're conceding the goals. Also gives you a bit of data as to where they're actually coming from, and you can see a lot of ours are inside the actual 6-yard box. The other one you can look at is your team report, and it'll highlight a lot of the weaknesses the team's currently having. Some of them you can't do too much about, like your attendance, like our away form. Like, yeah, we can try and improve that. But some of it, it's just like we don't have much strength. Okay, that's fine. There's not much teamwork. First touch is poor. Like, yeah, you can recruit for players like that, or you can put people on specialised training regimes, but like, it's limited in the amount that you can actually fix with the tactic. But there are certain things that we can look at here and maybe make adjustments to. Something like low levels of aggression and commitment. Maybe we step up a bit higher, get stuck in a little bit more. Not the best in terms of jumping. Maybe our crosses in the box need to be on the deck and make sure we're putting low ones in there. 7 of 21 goals conceded in the last 21 minutes. In the last 20 matches have arrived in the first 15 minutes. So we're not coming out of the blocks quick enough. Maybe we can make our tactic a little bit higher a tempo so that we start games a little bit more aggressively. So what I'm going to do now is throw together a couple of adjustments to our tactics, and we'll go through those again through the magic of editing in one moment. Okay, so the main adjustments that I've made now are to push higher up, close down more, get stuck in, be a bit more disciplined. They made a note there about our first touch, so maybe we're not the best like 1v1 situation team, and we just need to stick to our roles and trust in the system. Play with a higher tempo to try and get us out of the box a little bit quicker, and to play much wider when we're on attacking duty. So same instructions for standard, except to play wider. We want to be a little bit more balanced in the standard mentality. And when we go defensive, we want to play much more narrow. So a couple of these positions go from attack to being support, and we play with a narrow line so that there isn't as much of a gap. I think the big one for us is pushing higher up, getting our lines a little bit tighter between defense, midfield, and then attack. And then also closing down a bit more, stepping to the ball a bit more aggressively, because they highlighted that as being a source of our problems. And given how much we've actually conceded inside the box, I'd rather step up the game and stop the ball into the box rather than wait for the cross to come in with a deep line. That's my line of thinking with it. I don't know if that's how it works in the game, but we'll see what happens. Let's just jump straight into the game here and go to the match preview. Tottenham have been flying so far this season. I think they're in second, and if they beat us today, they will go top. Yeah, it looks as much. Arsenal are currently ahead of them, but they have a tricky late kickoff against Newcastle away, so anything could happen. 5 wins for them, 1 draw, 1 loss. We are currently sitting on 2 wins, 5 losses, but if we get a decent result here, we can jump right up the table relatively quickly. And then another good result against Southampton in the next game. Before you know it, we're back in the Europa League places again. So, well, yes, I'm disappointed with how things have gone. We still have enough time to get it right, to maybe these adjustments to the tactic will help, and we can get some decent form. So at the moment, we had those 3 wins and then 2 losses, so form's only decent. They're on excellent form, 1 draw, 4 wins over their last 4. But we're going to make it as difficult as possible as we can for them today. We're going to stick with attacking because we are at home, and I think that's where our best performances have come from. And hopefully these couple of tactical tweaks will actually help us through. Oh, the other thing I should highlight as well, it'll be a first appearance for Jack Grealish if he comes off the bench today. He's recovered from his abdominal injury. Ashley Barnes continues to work his way back into fitness, and Callum Wilson will make his first appearance for this season at some point in this game off the bench, likely for Davis, who is really struggling to get used to our systems, and the step up, obviously. He's only young, he's stepping up from championship level. All right, let's go and give Jack Grealish number 10, and hopefully that's enough for him to want to be our creative spark for this season. So far, Jordan Ibe has been phenomenal. I think he actually won the player of the month in September, which, like, we've had horrible results throughout that period, but his individual performances were great in terms of goals and assists. Looking at the Tottenham team here, Hugo Lloris is hidden behind my head. They've got Ben Davies, Kieran Trippier as the fullbacks, Vertonghen and Alderweireld as the centre-back partnership, Eric Dyer, Moussa Dembele will anchor their midfield, Min up top, Eriksen at the 10, Lucas Moura on the right, Harry Kane up front. They've also got Harry Winks, Kyle Walker-Peters, Dele Alli must be injured or something like that, Kieran Trippier, Eric Dyer, and like just the English options and English talent they have. I really thought they were going to be one of the teams that I'd potentially be managing in this series, based on, I guess they just have higher profile English players rather than the greatest quantity, the way Bournemouth does. Assertively, I'm just going to say we need to step up our game and put an end to our recent bad results, and everyone seems motivated. So fingers crossed, motivated players plus new tactical tweaks is enough for us to get a decent result here. Having said that, we have actually done really well against Liverpool and other decent teams that have come to us. Man United absolutely pummeled us, but our improvement against the good sides has been much better. The only concerning thing about the tactical tweaks I've made is that I haven't really said too much about what we do in possession, and one of the board requests is that we play possession-based football. So a lot of these things, 42% to 60, are concerning. Defoe with the ball across, Ibe goes up, it's going to come back out to Sermon. He looks for Jordan again, he hangs the ball into Cook, Cook gets a strike away, but Lloris gets down and holds the ball well. Encouraging, it's been, oh hang on, I don't want to jinx it, let's just wait. Okay, we've gotten outside the first 10 minutes without conceding a goal, which we can't really say about all of our performances this year. And hopefully I haven't jinxed it because we're getting quickly forward. And we're out of the first 15 minutes. Can we get out of the first 20 without conceding? It's weird how you move goalposts in these games and what you see as being successful. We've gotten out of the first 20 minutes. 3 shots, 1 for them. We've only had 1 on target, which was the one we saw in the highlight. They have shaded more of the ball, which is concerning. We're not really getting tight enough there. I might need to also go in and tidy up some of our defensive set-piece routines. Eriksen now. Moura's going to get the ball in. Kane goes up. It's headed away. Pugh flicks it forward, and we might be on the counter here. Defoe, has he gotten in behind, playing against his old club? Can he step inside or hang a ball up? Well, he's had a strike, and he's put the follow-up into the side, and he had no angle to speak of. Disappointing there wasn't a better supporting run from Keenan Davis there, but you know he is young, and he's trying to get used to the game at this level. Alright, we're getting through the first half an hour now. We move up to 16th spot. That's albeit with 1 point that we've gained in this game. So already up 2 spaces. If we can actually go forward and get a goal, though they are in possession here. Moura finds Eriksen inside. A few steps to the ball. Francis goes back to Butland, who's going to clear it long. There's nobody out there, so Davies recovers pretty easily. Francis now. Francis has struggled in a lot of games against like quick left wingers. We've played it out pretty well there actually. So Pugh now with the ball, finds Defoe. He launches a ball over for Ibe. There's a man free in the centre. It's Davis, if he can find him, and he does. Jordan, our assist maker and currently our star performer, hangs a decent ball up front post. And Keenan Davis, on loan from Aston Villa, the young 19-year-old target man, he gets his, I think, first league goal for the season. I think there's been a couple others. Oh, he's probably actually scored in one of the hammering games because he played in them too. And that is a really good counter-attack. We went all the way back through to the goalkeeper, came back out through the midfield, found our way out wide. Not short of passing, but good pass retention. And Jordan Ibe, 8.3, star performer so far in the game. But we've taken a lead. We've taken another lead against a really high-quality side, which we seem to be doing really well against the teams at the top of the table, but then struggling against like the mid-table teams, the lower teams, to get done by the likes of Stoke and West Brom and Leicester, who aren't, you know, setting the world on fire this season. That's the biggest frustration. So we need to alter our plans a little bit. That defensive tactic, I don't think I called it out when I went through it, but I also changed it to a counter-attack instead of being defensive, just so that we are a little bit more aggressive, trying to step to the line early, and then once we do recover, trying to get the ball forward. Defoe now with the ball. Can he find Pugh? Pugh is through. Can he get a strike away? Oh, it's straight at Lloris. Lloris is a very good goalkeeper. both in real life and in this game, but I think they've represented him really well in this game. His positioning, like his communication with that back four, excellent. And really, it's a 1v1 situation where Ibe gets in behind Davies. All right, so we get to the halfway stage. I'm just going to be calm because we're at home. You might be winning, but that could all still change if our performance levels drop. I haven't used the complacency one yet, and I'm going to assertively say to Jordan Ibe, I'm very happy with his performance so far, and he looks happy. So everyone stayed positive, managed to turn Jordan Ibe around there. If we can get a similar half like that out of him, and we do also have some quality to come off the bench, I'll probably give it another 15 minutes, bring Grealish on for his first appearance, bring on... I don't know if I'll risk Ashley Barnes just yet, but we'll bring on Callum Wilson for sure and try and get some minutes under his belt because he desperately needs them. And it looks like they are starting to make their substitutions. I can't see if it was Dyer or Dembele that came off for Harry Winks there. Looks like Pugh caught the ball up. That's a dangerous crossfield ball at the top of the box. One of us needs to get to that quicker. And they are countering in a concerning manner. I'm guessing it was Dembele that came off by the fact that Dyer just got tackled with the ball. Jordan with the ball. He's got him runner up the line, but instead he's carried the ball himself. Davis now plays the ball forward to Defoe. Cook's made a good overlapping run. Puts the ball in for Pugh. There's a backstick runner. Can he find him? Oh, Davis was there again, and he's just headed over. All he had to do was put that one on the deck. Maybe that's one of the changes I need to make for our attacking structures. A lot of the tweaks we made were focusing really on defence. Maybe we need to focus more on low crosses across the 6-yard box to make the most of those opportunities. Okay, they've got a highlight here, so I'm just going to cancel what I was going to do, which is make a change. Winks now with the ball. He's gotten it back in, and thankfully Min heads over the top. We dropped frames there again for a second. We haven't had a video go up where we got through the entirety of a match without dropping frames at one point or another, which is a massive source of frustration for me. Right, so I'm going to bring Callum Wilson on as the advance forward, and we'll bring on Jack Grealish for Pugh on the left-hand side, just so we can get some match fitness in them, and then I might hold on to the other one until the last 10 minutes or so. I don't want to risk Ashley Barnes if I don't need to, and it looked like Sermon wasn't having the greatest game of his career. So let's see what sort of response we can get out of Grealish on his debut, and Callum Wilson as well, playing as that advance forward. He was one of the highest rated players, even in his injured status. He's working his way back from an ACL, so we don't want to push him too hard too soon. So it might be appearances off the bench for the first couple of weeks at least. Well, Min's gotten in behind here. They've got runners, gets a ball across, and the ball's come back stick to Lucas Moura. It might just be me, and it might just be my bias towards Bournemouth, but I feel like that one's kind of come against the runner play a little bit. I know we just made subs. Kane with a decent weighted ball in behind, to be fair to them. And it looks like everyone gets dragged to the ball here, and I'm not sure if Eriksen deliberately flicked that on or if it just overshot everybody and Moura was there to tap home. They have had more shots, they have had more of the ball, so maybe I am wrong. But in terms of out-and-out chances, alright, so what I'm going to do is bring on Ashley Barnes. I'm going to risk him because I really want to get that result. And we're going to say here assertively, I have faith in you, get out there and make a difference. He has been fantastic so far this season for us, our summer signing from Burnley. So much so that we ditched the target man role and made it a defensive forward to suit his traits. This is his first real crack at it against top tier opposition. Can he provide that spark? Can he provide that moment to get us another goal? Lucas Moura with the ball now. Trippier is overlapping. Daniels needs to come to him a bit quicker. He hangs the ball up front post and Butland thankfully claims well. Butland's been quite good actually. I know I've been lauding up how well Ibe has played and how much Barnes has done in terms of dragging us through games with goals. But Jack Butland has been phenomenal. He needed to be good here as well, and he is equal to the task as Kane was set loose by Eriksen and gets a strike at goal. Kane's not having a decent game, neither is Min. Eriksen seems like he's pulling the strings at this stage. 10 minutes remaining. Is there anything we can do? I might use a shout here and just say push forward a little bit. We'll see if that does anything. I actually don't use shouts that often within the game. I've seen other people use them to great effect, but I just either seem to forget or I'm like eating and not paying attention. Maybe being on YouTube and recording it a little bit more will make me focus. Sermon looks for a ball out left. He's given it away to Trippier, and I'm concerned about Kane getting in behind here. He finds Moura, who's lightning fast, and thankfully his cross, which was almost a shot, goes out without causing too much danger. So they've definitely had the better of it in the second half here, but it's kind of the reverse of the way other games have gone for us. We may have actually played better in the first half. Oh, they had Harry Winks come on and then get immediately injured, so I wonder if he's all right. Ives going to come forward now. Can we recover that ball? It's back with Davidson Sanchez. He plays it into Sissoko, who's come off the bench. Sermon with a decent tackle. It's found Mora, and thankfully Butland gets across and holds the ball well. 88th minute now. They're in possession. Daniel steps to Mora. Grealish now on the counter. No, it's straight back into Mora. His touch is horrendous, but he's getting in good positions. Grealish now. He's looking for Wilson up the line. Maybe don't have the guy that just came back from an ACL injury chasing balls up the line immediately on his return. I think Harry Kane's playing midfield at the moment with the Winks injury, which is insane. Cook. Oh, here we go. Sermon. Have we got a recovery here? Wilson's in behind. Ives back stick. Wilson. It doesn't matter. I mean, I celebrated too hard and I knocked the camera off there for a second, but we've found the winner here. I think we've found a winner. We've got to calm down. Barnes with a lovely weighted pass. I thought Wilson was just going to cut it back here for but instead he goes himself and he beats Loris at the near post, and it's a goal after a long injury layoff for Callum Wilson. Welcome back, mate. Shaking off that ACL in the celebration as well. All right, 3 minutes remaining in extra time. This would be a phenomenal result for us. You can already see, just looking at the league table, it would push us up to 14th spot and onto 9 points, which is critical. Thankfully, the board pressure isn't too much just yet, but you've kind of got the feeling if we went out today and got absolutely spanked again, we were going to be in some trouble. So Jordan plays a ball up the line, looking for Barnes. Barnes tries to play it back across. They've won the ball back, and Sermon, thank God for that. Oh, that's why I found my chi. That's why I went through it. 15 shots apiece, 8 on target for us, 6 for them, 14 fouls to 12, 1 yellow card for Tottenham, 45% possession, 55 for them. It's good to see that the tactical tweaks came off a little bit. I think I certainly felt the width a lot more in the attacking play. It's a shame actually that in tactics on Football Manager you can't have a defensive structure, like narrow defensive and then wide when you're attacking, but I get it. There's only so much you can do. Passionately, that was really special, lads. Nobody gave you a chance, and you performed magnificently. Hopefully, that is a bit of a momentum booster, bit of a morale booster, and it's going to kickstart the second half of our season as we've started adding more layers to our tactic and what we're working on. Bournemouth show class to upstage Tottenham. Goal-friendly Tottenham suffered a 2-1 defeat against Bournemouth on a mild autumnal afternoon at Dean Court. What beautiful language and orating there. Grealish makes his debut. He was solid off the bench. The real highlight was Callum Wilson coming through and actually scoring the winner. I think is an injustice to everybody else. Passionately, football's about. Joy to behold. A late winner for everybody. And Jordan Ive, of course, our star performer so far this season. Superb in the number and quality of chances that he provided. Just to give him a boost. He deserves that reward. Now, through the magic of editing, I'm not going to drag too much through the course of this week. Let's skip ahead to the Southampton game because we welcome our bitter rivals to Dean Court, and I'd love to back it up and get another episode where we do back-to-back wins because that would be phenomenal. So I'll see you again in 2 seconds. All right, and boom, just like that, magic of editing, we have jumped forward a week for the game here against Southampton, our fierce rivals. I desperately want to beat the living shit out of them. A couple of things from throughout the week. We had our youngster Brennan Camp sign professional terms with us. He's probably not that great, but he's 17 and he's English and he's got no other dual nationality things that I need to be worrying about. Will Dennis has fallen out with Jack Butland. They were previously tutoring each other. And Dan Gosling came forward and asked why he wasn't playing more regular first team football. I told him it was because Andrew Sermon was in such good form. He didn't accept it, so I'm going to give him a run out today. If everything goes well for him, that's great. We've got more depth on our box-to-box role. If he doesn't perform, we have Lewis Cook ready and there to bring straight on. A couple of adjustments from the lineup last time out. I'm going to continue with Pugh and work Grealish back into fitness. You can see he's only at 60% match fitness. The other one is Callum Wilson. I was so tempted to put him out there from the start, given that this is a big game for the club and the supporters. But I think we're better off, given it's an ACL, just keep giving him half an hour until this match fitness starts to get up around the 80% mark, and then we bring him back in. But it is a return for Ashley Barnes. He'll come back into the starting lineup, our leading scorer so far this season. He has been fantastic, but I don't want to get bogged down talking too much. Let's jump into the game. And momentum can be a hell of a thing in football, particularly in Football Manager, so a decent result here would be great. Hiding behind my head is Maya Yoshida on the right, Bertrand will play on the left, Wesley Hote, who looks like they picked up from Lazio, and Jay Stevens, whoever that is, will be the centre-back partnership. Fraser Forster, of course, in goal with his stupid hair. Oriol Ramo, Mario Lemina on anchor midfield, Bufal, Tadic, Gabbiadini, and Carrillo. We have actually performed pretty well against 4-2-3-1s so far this season. I'm not sure if the 4-4-2 is a decent matchup for it, or if it's something about where the lines are held. We're going to passionately say, let's give the fans something to cheer today. Nobody's responded that well. Mark Pugh has actually, but he's been around the club for a long time. I think there's a lot more to come from my defensive line. They haven't responded at all. Just need to focus on clean sheets here. But let's be brutally honest. I'd win this game 5-4, absolutely. Come forward now. It looks like this is just a kickoff highlight. It is. We are currently sitting, I think, in 14th spot. They are one spot above us in 13th, but 2 points here, and we can jump up as high as, depending on the margin by which we score, as high as 8th or 7th or something along those lines. You'd assume some of these other teams are going to play as well in the next day or two. Actually, no, take that back. This takes us to 9 games, so we will go up, but there are other teams that will have games in hand on us. So we must be like the Friday night fixture. Hopefully, that means Friday night football, under lights, we turn it on a little bit. We have gotten outside the first 15 minutes, which is a massive improvement without conceding. We've had 2 shots, we've had more of the ball, a lot of the things that we spoke about doing, but that is potentially because Southampton is set up to counter, which, as we all are aware, if we've played this game or if we've been watching football over the last couple of years, can be devastating if you're set up in the right manner. And they do have 4 breaking very quickly with the shape that they've got. Whereas we, in a flat 4-4-2, we get 2 out very quickly, but then our banks kind of take a little while to catch up. Looks like we may actually make it all the way through to half-time without any massive highlights. We've not done a good job with possession. I mean, we haven't had much of it, but I don't know what you judge as being good. Tadic with the ball now, he slides it through and Butland comes out well. Is that the highlight, or are we going to actually do something in possession here? Looks like Butland's going to clear it long. Sermon's going to go up. He's lost the ball, but won it back on the deck. Gosling with the ball now. Bitched about wanting playing time, so hopefully his ball retention has been fantastic. Ives hangs one in, and Defoe hits either the bar or the post. I'm not sure which it was. It was just a deep cross in there. Not a lot going on, and Defoe got something on it, but not enough to put that one away. We'll try and give him a little bit more time and then bring Callum Wilson into the fray. Tactical changes from Southampton, so they're doing something. We'll see if it results in anything before we get through half time. We need to finish our chances. Yes, we definitely do if we're struggling to keep hold of the ball. We might be having shots, but they're from long range. Okay, so let's just say... So we haven't been that bad. Let's go passionate. It is a game. We've been the better team here. A few have responded well. I wonder if I can get another 45 minutes out of Callum Wilson. And I wonder if I can get 45 minutes out of Jack Grealish. Is that the best way to try and bring those 2 into fitness? So let's just tell Grealish assertively, I have faith in you, get out there and make a difference. He doesn't give a shit. And assertively, I have faith in you, go out there, and he looks relatively happy. And Steve Cook somehow has been motivated by that. So, oh no, sorry. Callum Wilson deep in thought. Jack Grealish happy as well. All right, let's go out there in the second half. I'm not going to change anything regarding our tactics or our mentalities at the minute, just those 2 personnel changes. And you might say half-time's an early time to do it, but in reality, I need to get Grealish and Wilson up to speed and in this lineup as quickly as possible. Ashley Barnes seems to be struggling a little bit in terms of his match rating. Dan Gosling hasn't played that well either. I'd probably rather make a sub like Gosling for Cook. Maybe I'll give it like 5 more minutes and then see how we go from there. We are 30 minutes in. I don't want to do it too early because there's always the danger that we'll have someone get injured or come off or something along those lines. Nathan Redmond's come on the pitch. We tried to bring Nathan Redmond in 25 times in pre-season, and they didn't want a bar of it. They've also taken off Tadic, who I think is their best player, and brought on Stephen Davis, who is Stephen Davis. You don't really go through Northern Ireland looking for creative talents. Let's take off Gosling as the box-to-box midfielder and bring Cook on, whose form has been decent. We've got to keep an eye on this Daniels yellow card, though. And let's assertively say, I think there's a lot more to come from you, and he doesn't really mind. But hopefully this isn't a highlight for them. It's Redmond with the ball now. Smith with a great tackle coming back into the lineup. Ibe gets the ball in, finds Wilson. Is he onside though? Callum Wilson has come off the bench and saved us in 2 games since he's returned from injury. What ACL injury? He must be a phenomenal finisher. Well, class must be permanent. Smith with a great challenge. Barnes holds the ball up well, waits for Ibe, who just hangs a deep one in. It's horrible marking. I'd be so furious if that happened to our defensive line. But Wilson gets his side foot to it and then shakes off the ACL again. Proceed with tactical change. Yeah, sure. Still make the sub. I didn't realise we hadn't made the sub yet before that goal went in. Can we hold on now for the last 15 minutes? Going to leave it on attacking. They haven't really done anything spectacular. Bertrand at left back is their highest performer thus far. We've got a few that are doing well, albeit in the defensive line. Carrillo looks like he's having an okay game up front. Wilson's already on a 7 after coming off the bench. Come on, lads, can we find another one here? Can we get ourselves a decent margin and at least get back to a positive goal difference? That's another thing that we need to focus on. When we win, we scrape it through, but when we lose... Actually, I take that back because if you watch the last episode, we scored 9 goals without conceding any. 86th minute now. Gibson with the ball forward to Grealish. What can he do? Plays it into Wilson. Wilson gets tackled. It's a long ball forward. Gibson comes to the ball. Grealish has brought it under again. Finds Cook to Wilson, to Barnes, to Wilson. It's back to the keeper and they've cleared. We need to be careful here. Gibson finds Grealish again. At least he's getting amongst it. To Cook, who's just come off the bench himself. He's coughed up the ball in a dangerous area and we need to press. Daniels with a great header. Grealish can get in behind. Instead, he looks for Wilson. Wilson's going to try and feed Barnes, who goes for the strike and puts that one home. Great link-up play there between Wilson and Barnes. It was Barnes that stepped off the bench in the last game and fed Wilson through for the winner against Tottenham, and he has returned the favour in this match. Cook knocks it down for Grealish. Grealish plays the ball forward to Wilson, and this is a lovely weighted pass and a decent first-time finish. Forster maybe could have done better. Maybe. I feel like Jack Butland would have held it. Maybe that's why Forster isn't in the England squad anymore. And we go 2 goals to the good. Can we get another one to get back to 0 goal difference? Am I being greedy? Maybe. It's a ball forward here. Cook has it. Goes back to Butland. Put long ball forward towards Wilson. Redmond with the ball over the top now. Gibson heads away. Only as far as Rameau. Not sure how that's pronounced. Cook finds forward. Barnes is away now. He's got Grealish on the overlap who picks up the ball. Finds Barnes. There's one more across. Oh, it looks like it was a decent tackle, and Southampton might be away here on the counter. We're in the 91st minute, so getting into injury time. Oh, Redmond's taken a fantastic touch inside, and he's driven that one inside the post. He coughed up the ball for the second goal, but in this instance, he has dragged one back in just to make it a nervy finish for the last 3 minutes. It's just that long ball forward there, and he just gets there ahead of, who's 15? Is that Francis? This right back area is a continued struggle for us. I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry, it was Smith because I dropped Francis for the exact same reason. He's only got a 6.5, so maybe we bring Francis back in the next game. But right back just seems to be a difficult area for us defensively, or at least in terms of our defensive positioning. Maybe I need to turn him off support, move him back to be defence. Anyway, I have rambled and gotten us to full time. A great result. And another episode where we get back-to-back wins. Something about you guys being here and me actually recording it makes me better as a manager because I'm horrible when we're off camera. Somehow Mauricio Pellegrino says it's a pleasure to play me. He's one of the good guys in football. Okay, alright, cool. I don't think we're supposed to be friends. We manage rivals. Southgate's watched a ton of our games. Have a look at all these guys. Butland, Cook, Gibson, Ibe, Sermon, all in decent form, all looking for England caps. And that result sees us shoot right up to the table, up into 9th position. See how easy it is early in the season? Don't panic if you get hammered 3-1 and 6-1 in the opening 2 games of the season. You can turn it around. You can get back up in there. Just believe in yourself or believe in me. I'm pleased, yes. Nice to keep moving up in the right direction. Should give us massive momentum. And I am fairly chuffed with that result. Let's just have a quick review of our best performers so far this season. Obviously, top goal scorer, Ashley Barnes. He's been fantastic for us. Also has our highest average rating. Considering he's been injured for 3 weeks as well, he's must be critical to everything that we do because when he plays, we win. Or when he's on the pitch, we score. And when we don't, it's not pretty. I'm actually starting to think maybe I should record every single game and put it up on the channel because I only seem to get wins when you guys are here watching with me. All 4 of our victories at home in the league this season have been while recording. So I don't know if there's correlation between that and I just pay more attention or if you guys are my lucky, beautiful charm. So let's just review some of our player stats at the moment. Ashley Barnes, leading scorer with 6 goals. He dragged us through that early portion of the season. And I think even in the last 2 games, the majority of the good things we've done, the winner against Tottenham and some of our goals against Southampton were while he was on the pitch. If he and Callum Wilson can start building a relationship together, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Jordan Ibe has been our chief assist maker and a lot of the good things we've done have run through him. Dane Gosling with best pass completion. He's barely played, so I think that contributes a little bit to that, but maybe there's something to it and I need to keep him out there a bit more. Most player of the match is Jordan Ibe. Yellow cards, red cards, whatever. That's fine. It is what it is. As far as team stats go, we have scored the most goals of any side thus far in our 4-4-2, 19. However, we've also conceded the most of any side with 21. Fifth highest in terms of yellow cards, second highest in terms of red cards, the one that we've had for McTominay, and the lowest attendances in the league. So certainly stuff to improve on. But ninth in the table, job security is not horrible, finances aren't horrible, training seems to be going well. The few promises I've made, they all seem to be tracking nicely. I've got to give Dane Gosling some more time. Simon Francis, I just need to keep winning games and I'll be all right. And don't sell Mark Pugh. Simple. I can do all of these things. They are very easily. Let's have a look at our schedule and see when we should come back next. I think maybe we do a bit more of a gap before the next one. I kind of want to do the homestand against Arsenal and Everton, but what I'm thinking might be more relevant are these away trips to Chelsea and Swansea, so that we can see the other side of the coin, and that can be our November/December update. And then what we might come back and do is like a Christmas special over the 23rd and 26th when we play Man City, and then Burnley in a revenge mission from that first episode of the season. So yeah, I think that's a good way to map it out. More than anything though, thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you are enjoying the series so far. I'm got a whole bunch of different stuff that I'm working on, whether it's stopping the camera from cutting out every 11 minutes or whatever it's set to do, whether it's being a little bit more active and energetic. Maybe I need to like split videos up and record one each day and then edit on each off day, just to be a little bit more into it and a little bit brighter and bubbly and make the content more entertaining for you. I don't want this to be like another channel where it's just somebody speaking softly into a mic about the tactics that they're playing and what their preferences is. I do want to make it more entertaining. I want to do more vignettes. I want to do more real life filming. I've got a million different ideas. Some of them I'm going to hold on to until FM19. But if you have any feedback, stuff that you want to see done differently, stuff that you've enjoyed or stuff that you've absolutely despised, please put it in the comment section below. I'll try and build a whole bunch of this content around what you guys want to see. If you want to be kept up to date when new videos come out, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Alternatively, you can follow In The Mixer FM on Twitter. There will be a link in the description as well. I've been Sean. It has been a beautiful day in Melbourne and also a fantastic couple of days at Dean Court. And I'll see you in the mixer.